Good afternoon from Hometown Cable program. What's going on here? Bob then and Calvin with the camera. And we've been giving you information for a long time about different things in our area. Today we're going to go in and get information ourselves. Information. I love New York. It's the Information Center on Route 87, the controversial location of the Information Center. You remember we wanted it up on along Route 11 and 87, but they chose to put it down here just outside of the Beekmantown exit. We're going to be talking with a Mr. Sean Bailey. And we won't be picking on him about this because it's not his fault, but he's the supervisor here, and we'll be talking with Sean. Please stay tuned. We're in front of the flag here. You're watching the flag, the beautiful flag, and two beautiful people. And this beautiful person is?
Sean Bailey.
You know, Sean, as much as I've heard about you, I have never met you. I guess face-to-face as such. I've seen you. I knew who you were. Mm-hmm. And where are you from? Sean, tell us a little bit about Sean Bailey.
Born and raised in Ross's Point.
Now, there was a very famous Wanda and Joe Bailey from Ross's Point.
Yes.
Related?
Infamous, mother and father.
Is that right? Well, I was just saying you off camera. We were just working with your dad at the JCEO, where they had the food here once a month, you know, where people go and buy food on a good program. As a matter of fact, you people who are not taking advantage of that should take the advantage of myself and Joe, who are there. You get about $27, $28 worth of food for $13, and you ought to look into that. It's held at the Legion. I think it's the third Friday of every month.
I believe so.
All right. Now, how long have you been with the information with the state of New York?
Well, since it opened, June of 1990. And technically, we're not part of the state of New York as employees. We're contracted by the state of New York through the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council. They're the actual owners and operators, I shouldn't say owners, but operators of the Information Center. They're contracted with the state.
The Adirondack
Regional Tourism Council.
All right. Now, is that a private or is that?
It's a private organization, but it's made up of what they call TPAs, Tourism Promotion Agents, of all the counties that represent the Adirondacks. There's 8 different counties: Clinton, Franklin, Essex, Hamilton, Herkimer, Warren, and Lewis. And St. Lawrence actually is a representative also.
Are there any other locations besides here?
No, this is the one and only that we operate.
Beautiful, beautiful facilities. I stopped in here a year ago in the summer, and I was very, very impressed, and so was Calvin. That's why we're here, Sean. But before we get into that a little bit more, let's go back to Sean a little bit. What happened to you after you left NCCS?
Well, I joined the Air Force, and I was in the Air Force for about 7 years. Got out in April of 1990, just before I started working here, as a matter of fact.
We know you moved into Champlain. Are you still in Champlain?
No, we're renting that house out now. We moved to Ross's Point. And we're living in what used to be my mother-in-law's house right now, right on the lake.
All right. Okay. Oh, right next to the mobile station, around the corner. Okay, yes. Yeah, who is your mother-in-law?
Rita Michler.
Rita Michler, yes. She's been on with us. And where were we talking with her, Calvin? We were talking with her one day, and at the basement of the church when they had the antique show. We were talking with her. Yeah, that's your mother-in-law. We got 2 well-known people in the area. That's right. You're related to Calvin's, and your wife is, isn't she?
Yes, that's right.
There's a relationship there. Yeah.
We try not to mention that.
That's why he brings it up. See, that's why he brought that up, Sean. So you lived in Champlain for a couple of years, right?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, in the Cameron home.
Yes.
And then I saw the sign for sale, but I didn't know if you had left or not. But you have sold, and
no, we haven't.
You haven't sold.
No, we took it off the market and we're leasing it out right now.
Okay.
And we'll try again next year.
All right. Now, what happens here? What is your title?
My title is the manager supervisor.
Okay, so it means you're in charge of this facility.
Well, there's also another gentleman who's called our administrator, Harry Demarest. He basically works as a consultant to act between the region and the information center. He's very well versed in operation of information centers.
Okay.
And but my overall duties is operation of overseeing the employees and the overall operation of the center.
What experience did you have for this when you came here?
Absolutely none.
Absolutely none. Did you tell him that?
Of course.
Have you been supervisor manager since you came here?
Yes.
Well, that's great. How many employees?
Right now there are 3 employees.
Besides yourself?
Excluding myself.
Okay.
Yes. In the summertime there are 2 also full-time seasonal employees. That help us extend our hours a little bit and a little more coverage to the visitors as they come in.
Right. Okay, now when you said 3 employees, working employees except yourself, that means that you all work as much as they do? Is that you behind the counter
at
all?
Well, I like to think so. Yes. When they have appointments or if some situation comes up, I'll get behind the counter.
Okay, here we go again. Now you keep coming up with these very unfamiliar appointments. You mean people make an appointment to come into the information center?
No, if the clerks have an appointment, a doctor's
appointment.
appointment.
I see what you mean. Oh, I beg your pardon. Okay. Now, how busy is this location?
Well, in the wintertime, it is, as you can see, it's fairly quiet.
Well, there were several cars out front.
Yeah. We average in the wintertime probably about 6,000 people a month. In the summertime, we're up to about 18,000 a month. Our busiest time is July and August, where July we've had a high of 62,000 in 1 month in August.
62,000 people.
And 52,000 in August.
Have you ever determined how many of those are, say, Canadian or foreign, and how many are U.S.?
Yes, we break it all down by computer. We have a sign-in register at the counter that helps us determine.
Does everybody sign in?
Well, we try to get as many as possible, and we use it as a basis, and we get a good overall base.
Can you give us any idea how much?
About 85% of our visitors are from what we call out of country. We try not to break it down into individual Canada, because there are an enormous amount of visitors from overseas also.
So when they come in here, there's 85% of the people that stop here and don't know what's down that road at all, many of them, correct?
Exactly, right. There are quite a few also that are on return trips also. But
and when I say down the road, I don't just mean Clinton County, because you've got 5 or 6 other counties. You said there were 6 total, or
there's 8 total
Eight
counties.
total. And you've got literature that you hand out from all of these various counties?
Well, we've got literature on every county in the state, actually.
You do?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll take a short break and come back, and I'll try to think of something I can ask this man, because I'm just overwhelmed with what you have here, and I enjoy coming into a place like this, because and we'll talk about some of the questions you get and so forth. You're watching Hometown Cable. This is Sean Bailey. He's the manager supervisor, and he's the smiling manager. Look at that this morning. Well, seeing that Sean is no longer in Champlain, and Calvin and I are, we want to talk to another Champlainer. And this is the Champlainer. Your name?
Helga Barnes.
Yes, and mother of 2 daughters?
2 daughters, Kim and Christy. Right?
Yes. So you're more famous for your daughters than you are your husband and yourself.
That's right.
Right? They were great
That's
ball
right.
players at NCCS,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Where are they now?
Christy is at Bard College. That's in Annandale on Hudson. It's about 20 minutes from Kingston. And Kim goes to SUNY Plattsburgh.
Yeah, terrific.
She's going to graduate this spring.
Okay, I saw Bob, your husband, the other day, worked at U.S. Customs in the Rouse's Point office, and
Right.
I was in there talking with him, and I already knew that, by the way. I already asked him that, but
exactly.
those people didn't know it, all right?
That's right.
Well, first of all, did you bring me cake? Did you know I was going to bring you here and brought me a piece of cake?
No, somebody here had a birthday. Actually, 3 people had a birthday. Me, Marvin, and Mr. Demarest.
And you came here to have your birthday party? Why would you come here, Helga?
Oh, because I work here in the summer.
Ah, you do work
Yes.
here in the summer. You're a
Yeah.
busy person.
Yeah, not really.
Well, the last time I saw you, you were stamping envelopes and measuring things.
At Freeport
Yes,
Forwarding,
in
yeah, that's
Champlain.
right. Yeah,
You still work
yeah.
there once in a while?
No, I work here in the summer, June, July, and August when it's the busiest.
Is that because they
Yeah.
don't give you cake at the Freeport?
No, not really.
You see Marvin over there laughing. It's Marvin, right?
Yes.
I just saw his mom and dad too down there. We were talking. All these people that we see that are just neighbors, correct?
Right.
Well, how long have you worked here, Helga?
I helped out first in the winter when Louise here was substitute teaching, and then I was hired back in the summer, and then last summer I was here too. So it's 2 summers and 3 months in the winter.
You get a chance to use your German here at all?
Very much.
Did
so.
you?
Yes,
Oh.
very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
yes.
speak French too?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, and you do very
Yeah.
well here.
Yeah.
You get a lot of German people coming in?
We had a lot of German people. I was in Germany about 2 weeks ago, and I found out everything is very expensive over there for us. So the Germans are coming over here because it's cheaper for them to come over here than for us to go over there. So this summer we had a lot of German people, and I was surprised. I used my German a lot,
Okay.
really. Yeah.
When did this German person come to the United States?
I came in January of '68.
Oh, did you speak English before you came?
Oh yeah,
Helga?
yeah.
Oh, you did. You learned English
I learned.
there.
I learned in school, and then I worked for a company where I used a lot of English.
And where were you from in Germany?
I'm from Bavaria. It's
Well,
a very small town near Munich.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Tell you more.
All right. So what's the most unusual question? I'll give you just a second to think of it. What's the most unusual question you've ever heard when you were here answering questions?
Oh, we get a lot of questions. The beach, the shopping
that's
center.
regular, but what about an unusual one?
Unusual. People,
Like maybe where do you live, Helga? They don't ever ask you that.
No.
Okay.
No. I can't think of
You
any
can't think, all
unusual
right.
questions.
What's the most
Most of-
common question? Where's the beach?
The beach, the shopping center, New York City. A lot of them want to go, not a lot of, some people want to go to Maine. They want to go to the ocean, see the ocean. People come down here really thinking of going to Vermont and missing.
Oh, I was going to
the
ask you.
exit.
Do they ask you where Route 11 is?
Yes.
And you
yes.
tell us 10 miles
But
back?
They come in here and they say, Is this Vermont?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is New York State. Well, they missed the exit. The exits are not very well marked up there. I mean, when you come out of
Yes.
customs, it doesn't say push to Vermont.
No,
Exit
it
42, so they come down here. By the time they come down here, they realize.
Then they turn around and go back?
Yes,
usually
or they
go
take the ferry over to Burlington.
Correct. Okay, what kind of information can you give them? Do you give them maps here and things like
We
that?
give them, see our brochures. We have
Uh-huh.
a lot of very interesting brochures. We give out maps if we're asked, yeah. A lot of information. We have two big books with tons of information. If we don't know it offhand, we find it in a book.
Oh, great.
It's called The Brain.
The Brain.
The Brain,
All
yes.
right, yeah.
We
They
got a
used to
lot-
call me the Brain, but they don't do that anymore.
How come?
No. Listen, you knew we were going to be here, so you came to see us. Is that right?
No.
That's
no,
not why
this was
you're
a
here?
total surprise.
total
And
surprise?
actually, I was going to leave before you got here.
Oh, no, but you don't want to do that. It was nice
no,
talking to you,
no,
Helga.
it was nice.
Thank you
Thanks.
very
Okay,
much.
it was fun.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Helga Barnes from Champlain, New York. The name of the street?
Ashland Drive?
Ashline Drive, yeah, just off Main.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks much.
you're welcome.
Thank you for this question. Not too personal.
Well, we don't know who this lady is, but we heard Helga say her name was Louise. Is that right?
That's correct.
Louise, your full name?
Louise Laplante.
LaPlante. L-A, capital P-L-A-N-T?
Small P. Like
All
in
right.
Like in
All
Peru.
right. Okay, are you from this area, Louise?
Well,
Originally?
I am. I feel like I'm from this area, but I've been here some 30 years. I am originally from Canada.
From Canada? Oh, you speak French then
I'm
too?
a naturalized American.
Okay, well then you got that's one of the requirements. You can speak one of these foreign languages. I suppose it helps an awful lot, doesn't it? All right. Well, now you notice that Helga, who was going to leave us, didn't leave. Now she's getting her turn to watch us talk, just like you watched her talk. And there are people coming in, going to get some brochures, and restrooms are here and everything. How long have you been here, Louise?
I've been here 30 years.
No, I'm sorry. At the,
Here.
yes,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That's quite all
In the
right.
state, since the opening,
You have been, huh?
I started. Yes,
You enjoyed this work?
very much.
Must
very
get.
much.
It must be. I would think every day something different.
Yeah.
A lot of the questions are the same. But you mentioned when I asked about an unusual question, I saw you smile. Did you have an unusual question today? I heard.
Well, this morning, it's fresh in my memory, somebody came in wanting to buy deer meat and was given an address down in Poughkeepsie or something, and I didn't know of any place where you could buy deer meat. I understand it's illegal to sell it.
I don't know if it is or not. You understand it is? I know you can't just keep killing them. You aren't going to be able to sell them more than 200 pounds or 300. Small. You can only get one.
I'm not a hunter. My feeling is it's for personal consumption. I don't think you can sell it or make a market of it. But further down south of New York State, they raise deer, and apparently they can sell it.
So do they, now you have how many people working at one time? So, you're open from 9 to 9, is that right?
In the summertime?
The summer?
In the summertime, we have 4 people.
4 people working now.
At one time.
Do they sometimes relay a person who speaks a lot of French over to you rather than, or did everybody here speak
Well,
French a
I
little bit?
remember one particular incident that I really enjoyed. Elga was helping someone in German. Francine was talking to someone in French, and I was talking to someone in Spanish.
You speak
And
Spanish
somebody-
also?
A little, yes.
These people must get a smile on their face when they come in and they're going to say something in Spanish or German, and you can answer them. That's got to make you feel at home, very, very much.
Yeah.
And what does Sean speak? Does he speak anything except bosses? He speaks boss, right? B-O-S-S. That's what he speaks. Is anything else? He's right there, so be careful.
He's made an attempt to learn French, and I was his teacher.
Oh, yeah? Well, Bailey is not too French, I'm afraid, huh? We could pronounce that Bailey.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, what else? You have children?
I have 4.
Anybody up here would know who they are? What are they, into sports or?
Yes, they were all into sport. Probably Martin would be the best known one. He played soccer and hockey for Shazy School and then for Peru School.
Oh,
And also
right.
for MAI, they've been to a lot of different schools,
Okay.
but they were always in sport.
Does that mean you know this man, Castine here, better than you do me? You've seen him around? The boys were older, are they? They've been out of school a while? Because he gets all the soccer games in Shazy, That's Calvin Castine, who is Hometown Cable. As a matter of fact, he was the Citizen of the Year for the Northern Tier. I like to say it. I like to see him blush a little bit, see? But we had a party for him last Friday night, and they said some very nice things about Calvin. All right, what else would you like to talk about, Louise? Someone was saying you ought to put this away pretty soon. It's the leaves. This is something, the type of things you hand out?
Sir, this is our fall brochure.
Uh-huh.
And in there you have the leaves, their colors, and all the time of the year where they change
Hold this up
colors.
just a little bit here. Okay, yeah.
And
And
we
then
have
where you'd find them?
A beautiful trail map, you know, the
Uh-huh.
driving trail where you can see the most color, where there are most elevation.
Okay.
And there's a lot of information in that little brochure.
Does-
A lot of school kids request it.
Oh,
for
well now,
projects.
you mean school kids come on tours?
They read advertisement on magazines or on television, and they call. We have an 800 line, and people call us, and we send them whatever information they request.
Is that a busy
That
line?
is very busy. There are times where they put a spot on TV, and the phone really rings off.
Yeah.
the hook.
Well, you've been here from the beginning too. Can you imagine what people did before this came? I know the senior citizens were trying to man a little booth here, of course, and that
Yeah.
they just didn't have the manpower. They didn't have enough. I know they did a good job for what was available, but it's very, very important something like this here, and we're doing this so that people in the Northern Tier will realize. And even if you don't want to stop in and say hello to these people, you'd be glad to have people stop in and see your nice
absolutely.
facilities and pick up a couple of these brochures. Maybe you'll travel to one of the other 7 counties here and give them a little bit of your business. You don't have to leave this Northern Tier of these 7 or 8 counties. You'll see everything you want right up here.
Yeah, it's a big state, and people are amazed to see the information they
Yeah.
can find.
Fishing, hunting. It's not all
Yes.
hotels and
Absolutely.
motels, right? It's fishing and other things that are available in the
Right,
area.
yeah.
Plays and
Yeah.
everything else that's happening. There's
Just
some of the
everything.
things they hand out right here.
The attractions, the different attraction around,
Okay.
you know, the events in different region.
Okay. Now, when you have a 12-hour day and you work only 8 hours, how do you do that? You work
Well,
split shifts or something?
yes,
You
2
do.
people come in from 9 to 6, and 2 people come in from 12 to 9 o'clock.
Okay,
So
okay.
between 12 and 6, there's always...
And that's your busiest time, probably?
Yes.
Huh? What's the furthest person that ever came in here? From what area? Do you remember? Any idea who was? Anybody from Australia or New Zealand?
Yes,
You have that?
yes,
You
yes,
have.
Brazil, Spain, Europe, a lot of
Yeah.
European. And this year, like Elga said, we had mostly German. I don't know
Well, the money.
why.
It's the
just
money situation,
the
right?
money
Yeah, yeah,
situation, yeah.
The money. I wish I knew the money.
Surprise.
Deutschmark?
The Twitch-
Deutschmark? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I read it one time. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So anything else you want to tell me about? Don't say no, because I'll think you want me to go. Is there anything else you want to cover at all that I...
Well, I'm attempting to learn German.
You
but
are?
it's-
From Helga?
No, I go to school.
You do?
But Elga helps me on the side.
Yeah,
I
because
have terrible time with
well, she don't dare teach you
pronunciation.
too much. She's afraid you'll take her place. So be
No,
careful.
no.
teach
each other.
That must be good. So you get a lot of German, and it's very handy when
Yeah,
people come in here.
It's surprising. Lots of Japanese.
You don't speak Japanese, too.
No, I think that
Russian?
one I'll let somebody else handle.
Okay. Thank you very much for
You're
talking
welcome.
with us. Louise Laplante.
Yep.
That's okay? Is that pronunciation?
Yeah.
Okay. The next person we're going to see is behind this door, employees only. But today, they said we could come in this area. We're going to go back and we're going to talk to another Champlainer, Champlain native. And well, all right, here's another Champlain native. And your name, Mr.?
Marvin Bayshard.
Marvin Bayshard. Now, there's Bayshards in Shazy, Champlain, Rouse's Point. Where's this Bayshard from?
From Champlain.
Yeah, Mom and Dad?
Morris and Marie.
Yeah, we were just talking to Morris and Marie at the when they were at the place I was at noon in Legion. Matter of fact, your mom called me yesterday. She's a historian.
Right.
Yes, and how old are you, Marvin?
Well, I'll be 34 Sunday.
You and my son were the buddies too, weren't you?
Yes,
Tommy
Tom,
and you?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Were you one of the ones with those Bayshard boys that got in trouble or didn't get in trouble? Of the what? 7 boys were there? Or
Yeah,
6?
there's 7
7
of us,
boys and a
yeah.
girl named Mona.
And Mona.
And what's
Right.
unusual about the boys and the daughter of the Bayshards? There's one thing that you all have the very same.
All the letters start. All our first names start with M.
MB,
Middle names are C's.
including your mom and your dad,
Yes,
right?
they're all
Everybody is
MCB.
MCB. So when you address one in Champlain to MCB, you probably won't get the right one, correct? So what do you
Most
do
likely.
here? They brought you back in there showing us a stock room. What do you do?
I do the maintenance, sir. Yes.
Well, does that
do
mean
the upkeep.
upkeep? All right.
Yeah.
So, and then you keep the poster. You get the stock in and stock it and bring
Right.
it out and so
Mhm.
forth.
Right. Yes, and so forth.
Okay,
You
so you're
keep
more
track
than
of
maintenance. You're more than maintenance. You're also stock person, did I say, huh?
Yeah, somewhat, yes.
All right. Now, do you have to order some of this when you
No.
see it's down?
Mr.
No?
Bailey does that.
Okay, I see 167 here. There's not much in it. Does that mean the guy's out of business or something?
Oh, no, that's
not
like
much in that
summer
one.
advertisement.
All
there,
right.
So,
And they're all numbered.
Right.
Are they numbered outside too, so you know right where to go
yes,
to put them?
underneath the books they are.
All right. Okay, and so how long have you been here?
Since we opened.
You live in Champlain now,
No, I
Marvin?
live in Point Rush now.
Point of Rush. So you got the only MCB on Point of Rush?
So far, yes.
So far, huh? All right.
With my son, wow.
With your son, is he also an MCB?
Yes, he is.
Oh boy, Junior?
No,
No,
Matthew.
no Junior. All right, Matthew. All right. Where did he go to school when you're in Point of Rush?
He goes in Beekmantown.
Beekmantown
Yes.
School. All right. So, in other words, you keep all this building clean, wash all. You do windows?
Yes, I
You
do.
do windows? A lot
Yes.
of windows too, huh?
Yes, and here's a lot, yes.
Yeah. So you're a year-round person, obviously,
Yes.
huh?
Mhm.
Now, in talking with Sean, it indicated to me that this is not the state of New York directly, so you're not a state employee as
Right,
such.
no state
So you're not
employee.
state retirement or anything like
Right.
that, all right?
Mhm.
All right. What else can you tell me? You've got a lot of room back here. Do you do construction work too?
Yes.
Did you build these shelves?
Well, they were here, and I put in all the dividers, and
Uh-huh.
built this one.
Yeah. How many different, oh,
Units?
Sure. All you got to do is look at the last
200.
number, huh?
It's almost 200 units.
200 different things that happen here, huh?
Yes.
And air conditioned in the summer?
Yes.
You don't
Oh.
take care of air conditioning too, do you?
No.
You don't know how to take care of air conditioning, do you?
Well, it's on the heating system.
Okay. It's on the,
Central air.
all right.
So,
So all you do, you can turn the button like I can, right?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
good at that?
computerized.
Yeah, we're good with buttons, and we got instructions.
Oh, yeah. It works
All right.
fine.
So what else do you do here now? There's 4 seats here. This where you come in to eat?
Yes.
People come.
Great
Also, it's
table.
more than yours too. They come in here too.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's why you
Everybody.
smile. Those women come back here, and you talk here together during this period.
Right.
Or is there a law that says when they're eating, you got to go out and do work outside?
Right, that's when I have to
That's
leave.
what. Do you cut all the grass too?
No, I don't. No, the state does that.
Oh, all right.
No,
Okay.
The maintenance of this building.
The building itself
Right.
on their land. All right.
Mhm.
And you're open year round.
Yes.
It won't be closed at all.
Right.
Okay. What else you want to tell me, Marvin? I don't know what else to ask you here. Anything else that's unusual about your job? You ever substitute out there and answer questions?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have, huh?
Yes.
Do they ever see you outside and ask you without coming in?
Yes, I've been asked questions outside too.
So do you send them in and say, see the other man inside? Mr. Bailey
Sometimes,
knows the
yes.
answers?
Or, if I know where I want to go, I'll tell them.
What's the most important, the most usual question you get? Anything offhand?
The most usual?
Yeah.
Like during summertime, the beach or the
beach.
mall.
And the mall.
Yeah, and the mall.
They like the mall.
Yes.
Well, pretty soon you can tell them you just missed the mall. It's back in Champlain, 10 miles, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Be next spring?
Yeah.
I guess that'll be
It's
open.
supposed to be, yeah. They're working. I guess they're still working on it, yeah. Now, if you look at the camera real good and say, hi, Mom and Dad, they probably look right back at you. Thanks, Marvin.
Okay. Thank you.
We're just getting ready to go back out in the main area, and then we saw all these boxes, and we figured that either someone don't want to open these yet, or what's happened? What's the story on all these boxes?
They're just waiting to be handed out.
Now, in other words, some of those shelves are already full, or you
Right.
can take it?
A lot of these materials will wait till next summer
right.
because they are summer-oriented materials, but they will be handed out.
Okay, 2 questions. We were doing off camera. You're open every day, but there's some days you aren't?
There's 3 days that we are closed during the year: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
Okay. They're all coming up, too,
Yes,
aren't they?
yes.
Those are the only days you have off?
Oh, the only 3.
The only days you have off, right? Now, Louise mentioned that you get calls on an 800 number.
Yes.
And that is also could be covered by this area, or do you have to be outside the area
Well,
to use that number?
No, the 800 number is accessible from the United States and Canada, everywhere.
Anywhere. Okay, the number 800 is 800
487-6867.
6867.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it's right here. There's 6867. They're just reversed. That's all. A little bit backwards here. That should be all right. They call. They want several brochures on the Thousand Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you refer them to another location, or do you refer to, or are they mailed from here?
Well, primarily every region. The state is broken down into 11 different regions, what they call vacation regions, and the Adirondacks just happens to be one. And they all pretty much have their own 800 numbers. And if somebody calls our number and says, well, I was interested in a Watertown or Syracuse, we'll either give them the Thousand Islands number or the Finger Lakes number, and they get the information that way.
Okay. What, do you mail material out from here?
Yes, we mail out Adirondack regional material.
You do? All right. And the Thousand Islands is not part of the Adirondack?
That's right. Now, another thing I want to clear up, too.
It's right, it is or it isn't?
It's not.
It's not part of it,
no.
all right.
The two different departments of the state, the Department of Economic Development and the Department of Environmental Conservation, have the state broken down into different regions, and they're completely different. This area for DEC is considered Thousand Islands, and for the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council, it's considered the Adirondacks. We don't go strictly by the blue line, the Adirondack Park. For us, the Adirondack region includes Glens Falls, west to Old Forge, and everything north, right up to the border. So over to Ross's Point and back down to Glens Falls again. So that's considered the Adirondacks for us.
Right. Do you hand out New York State pamphlets, I Love New York pamphlets
Yes.
itself? That covers the whole state?
Yes.
If I wrote to New York State Tourism and asked for some information on Rouse's Point or Clinton County, will they send it to me, or do they refer it to you and you send it to me?
Well, right now they'll refer it to us.
Okay.
Actually, year-round they will, but they'll refer everything to us right now because they have no maps and no travel guides.
All right. When is this done, and where do you do this here?
Well, the clerks at the front desk answer the 800 calls.
Right.
And we have an answering machine at night, of course, that answers calls for us. And it's entered into a computer. They have a computer out front, and there's a computer in my office where it's entered into. The labels are printed, put on envelopes.
In the computer?
In the computer.
And they put it on envelopes themselves?
No, we put it
You
on
put it on the
envelopes,
envelope,
yep.
and then just insert whatever you want.
That's correct, whatever they ask for.
You do that as part of your day, or is that you go into a different room to do that?
No, they'll either do that right at the counter, depending how many they have. If they have an enormous amount of them, we'll try and do it here in the back room, so we don't clutter up the work area. But pretty much we do it right out at the counter.
Right. And the postage on that is paid, the regular postage?
That regular postage, first-class mail, everything goes out first-class mail, and it's paid for by the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council.
All right. And I want to give you one big question. Anybody that's watching us here from towns of Chazy, Champlain, Moores, and part of Altona, what benefit would it be for them to get something from here? What can they get from here that would help them? A map of the state of New York.
Well, yeah. My problem has always been I never appreciated where I come from. I've never been to a lot of places that are right from this area.
It'll get worse as you get older.
Yeah,
You'll find out.
I'm sure it will.
Particularly your mom and dad, you appreciate more as time goes by.
But Ausable Chasm I hadn't been to till last year.
Is that a shame?
It
it's
is,
true.
too.
Yes.
And I think if they come here, they'll realize the actual potential that there is for vacations or just a day trip anywhere to really enjoy themselves.
We were doing a show at the minor collection in Chazy, and so people came in, and so we left that day and went back another day, and it turned out that the man who was there used to live in Chazy, had never been, right? And then he came back in the area, and one of his friends took him through the museum in his own hometown. He never had seen it. You just don't realize what is here, and there's a lot like that here, right?
It is, yeah.
And it would make it very apparent. Just come in here and browse through. You're glad to see them, right?
Yeah, we consider it a major resource.
Yeah, every 1,000 that come in, he gets an extra raise in his pay, correct?
I wish.
All right. Well, now, so you, I'm sorry. I had another train of thought, and it slipped me. You're here 5 days a week yourself?
Yes, Monday through Friday.
So is it Monday the busiest day? That's not one of your work days.
Monday is not usually the busiest
Sunday.
day. Sunday.
Sunday is
No,
not
that's
busy?
not when that's not that busy. Usually the busiest day is Friday and Saturday.
It is? Okay. All right. Now, the bathrooms are in here or in the other building?
The public restrooms are in the other building. And probably that's our most frequent question is people walking in, so they start walking around the building, and you can tell what they're looking for.
Okay.
And they say, where are the restrooms? And we send them next door.
Okay. Now, except for being maybe more convenient for the people, if it were in this building, wouldn't you get more people passing through and getting some handouts that they wouldn't come in necessarily?
More
A
than
lot of them
likely.
just stopped to the bathroom, but because they were there.
Because they were there, and I really don't know the reasoning behind the actual structure, or why it was put this way. But I think it would have been more helpful for us if they would have been connected.
Okay, we're going to have to tell the state or the tourists, you're going to have to build a hallway from here to the other one, entrance here and exit out there if you want to go out there.
And a tunnel across to the other rest area, too.
Hey, that's another thing, right?
Yes.
That's right.
It would be nice if they could have the information accessible to us.
Anybody going north can't get to this building.
No.
And technically you got to go all the way back to Chazy and turn around and come back.
Yes.
Because you can't use the turnaround.
That's correct.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk to this man here a little bit about Route 11 and what not his feelings so much, maybe his feelings too, because he doesn't work for the state of New York. But how many questions you get about Route 11? Where you're watching Hometown Cable. Bob Venn, Calvin Castine, the Citizen of the Year behind that camera, and we're going to be right back here watching the program called What's Going On Here, and we hope you tune in every Sunday because we got a different show and something we hope you like every week, and if you don't, well, tune in the following week. It's on every Sunday, we said, at 1:15, 4:30, 8 p.m., midnight, and 8 on Monday morning. And out of those shows, you ought to find a couple that are interesting to you as far as the times. Thanks. Back out in the main lobby again. Now, what's the difference between this desk and the desk over there? Different? Are they just two desks or what?
Well, when the building first opened, that's where the clerks worked. And that section over there was just a plain table across those two pillars. But we noticed the traffic pattern of the people coming in. When they would come in, they would flock to those corners or flock over to that corner. They wouldn't even see people working here. So what we decided to do was to make this a secondary clerk area for the summertime when we have 4 people on. 2 people here and 2 people at the other desk.
Okay. Now, why do we have our windows here? What is all this? Are you selling merchandise here?
No, what we do is display different pieces of work by different artisans throughout the Adirondacks. Most of our materials right now are from the Adirondack North Country store. They have different artisans throughout the region, their materials. We also have some on display from a little shop in West Shazy.
That's the wooden?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been... We've seen that before. We were over to the pottery shop.
That's the
Vera Vivante, and then
yes,
that was
that's her materials.
Yes.
And some of her other.
Oh, the pottery, yes. Mm-hmm. By the way, I got my little pot that I made when we were there, Vera, and thank you very much. I got that delivered the other day by Kay Woods, Heron, and I got it at my house. Very proud of it that I made when I was there. All right. Is this changing from time to time, what's in here?
Yes. The different people will come down and they'll take a look at what they have and they'll change their materials around. There's also some on top, which I don't think...
Is this an income-raising thing, or they just put this here?
No, they just put it here for their own benefit, for any type of advertising they may get from it.
Right. Was there plans here at one time for a second story, Sean?
I don't.
An awful lot of room
so.
up here.
There sure is. Marvin had to put that fan in for us to try and keep the heat down for us.
Yeah, because it all rises up there.
Sure does.
Very well done in here. Very, very nice. It's you must get very good comments about
Yes,
your
we
place.
do.
You have a place where you can make comments about the...
On the guest register, there's a remark section.
Of course, many times they sign when they come in, and it's too early to put it down.
That's true. Yeah.
You ought to have a little slip of paper they could... I'm serious.
No, I know.
Because it's very nice. And then, is it Mr. Bayshire that keeps this so clean like this, too?
He sure is.
He does a good job in here. As we look around, you'll see there's the hanging lights right here that shine down. And one of the things we note is that there are areas like the Finger Lakes, and this is Finger Lake material here, and then the Thousand Islands Seaway, Niagara, Chateauguay, Allegheny, Chautauqua, and the various things. And it isn't only for business places, but they are there. I love New York Schuyler County Travel Guide. There's probably a little map and so forth inside. And if you have any idea of traveling to any place in New York State, in this northern area in particular, one of those 8 counties, what are the counties again?
Clinton, Franklin, Essex, Warren, Hamilton, Herkimer, Lewis, and St. Lawrence.
Okay, and you'll get information. Here it is on the theater, the season, and what's going to go on at the theater. Fishing, and it's nice material. Now, what do we have over here? This was a
display from the Winery Foundation from the state of New York.
Okay.
That they used at the state fair one year. And they asked us if we'd like it to have it on display here, and we said certainly.
All right. Now, these spots here correspond with the numbers, I think.
That's correct,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's the thruway.
This is the Hudson Valley region.
Okay, that has nothing to do with our area at all.
No.
But there's the wine, a lot of it to do with the wineries. Mm-hmm. It's all winery, I guess,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Is that, there's a place over near near Geneseo. I forget the name of it now. Big winery country. A lot of wine from New York State.
Yes, there is. There's a surprising number. Long Island, Finger Lakes, Hudson Valley.
Now, will that be here just a short time, or will that be?
This will be here until we feel it's time to change.
Okay. And the big pictures, again, pictures of the state, throughout the state, rather than just your area.
That's correct, yes.
All right. Anything else in this area we should see or know about? What's the biggest problems you have? Do you get much vandalism or anything like that? Vandalism?
You can see our window here.
Well, that could be a mistake. That someone broke it?
Yes. Well, this was done actually by a bird.
Oh, well, you can't blame
But
me.
we have had, these same 2 windows have been broken before by vandals, throwing rocks, pipes. We have marks on our counters here from things that have come through the window, and
Oh, so there has been some vandalism
Yes, there
here,
has.
huh? It does, so there's nobody here all night long?
well, there's someone over in the restroom,
You do
DOT
keep-
worker until 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
They can't
Well-
see everything.
But is it open all night long?
There's not somebody manning it all.
But it's open?
I believe so.
It's open all
Yeah,
night?
mhm.
So that, I mean, I would think somebody would be a little worried about stopping in here at 2 o'clock in the morning and,
Well, we've asked the state police, and they do make a run through every night.
You know?
They do drive through, and
because one person never know who they're going to find in there for, the crime does happen. But some beautiful pictures, and you're not crowded in any way.
No.
And you're not, it looks very nice. Now, here is a campground directory. Free. It's free, right?
everything is free.
You don't have to buy these things, and it gets you some ideas. It's throughout the state of New York, tells you where it is, what to look for, and there may be others who are not in here. Could be. Man, I don't know if those people have to pay the New York to get advertised in there, but there are many, many things available that are free, and a lot of information. There's a lot of good things in the state of New York to see.
That's correct. Yeah.
And particularly in the northern, what do you call this area?
The Adirondack region.
Adirondack region. That's what I want to say. All right, what's this TV we got going on over here?
Just an audio-visual display.
Is that a back one from the one in your office? Huh?
I get ESPN
You
occasionally.
get it? Yeah. All right. So what? This is throughout your Adirondack region?
We have different tapes on different regions of the Adirondacks. We have one Adirondack tape that commemorates the centennial that we just celebrated this year for the Adirondacks. The one that's on right now is for Franklin County. It talks about different areas of Franklin County, fishing and canoeing.
Right.
We also have one for Warren County, a short one, and we have various others that include several areas.
Uh-huh. All right. We'll move to the other side of the building. Thanks very much for talking with us again, Sean. We're going to go outside here again, too. Look at your buildings outside a little bit and some of the things that Marvin does outside. And thanks much for talking with us.
Thank you.
We're on the south side of the building now. You see a lot more new and larger Franklin County in detail here. Accommodations, camping, horseback riding, the whole thing. Now, how does the council that you're talking about, how do they get their money?
Well, it's the state allocates a certain amount of money per year towards operation of the center. I'll even give you some figures because they are public knowledge. The original figure that we were allocated when we first opened in 1990 for a year was $167,000
That they pay to the council.
that they paid to the council to operate the center.
Does the council have to pay rent back for it after?
No.
No, all right.
We are responsible for every bill that is incurred by operation of the center.
All right.
From electricity to phone bills to buying
Upkeep
new
of the
racks
building?
if we need to. Yes, if a window breaks, as I showed over there,
Yeah.
we have to replace that on our own.
All right. You don't operate on $167,000. Where do you get any other money for these things, for instance?
Yes.
How do you?
Brochures are displayed for a fee. I should say brochures that are private businesses.
All right.
You see brochures throughout here that have "I Love New York" on them.
Here's one. Here's
They're
another.
written for the symbol.
Right.
The only reason they can put that on their materials is if they've received some type of waiver from the state first off, or if they've produced their materials with matching funds monies, which is a program that helps counties and individual towns develop promotional materials.
So you don't get paid for those.
No, we do not get paid
So
for those.
whether it says "I love" or there's a heart, it's the same thing.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. But the others, Adirondack Camping or Great Escape and John Brown, Frontier Town. We got a Frontier Town. We're familiar with there. We've been there.
Yes.
Did a show. They have to pay
That's correct. They do have to pay
per unit.
No, we will distribute an unlimited amount of brochures in as many racks as we feel necessary to put them out in for a one set fee. Business such as Frontier Town, which is an attraction of note, would be $350 a year.
For the year. That's a full
For
year.
a year, no matter how many we distribute, no matter how many spaces we use in the racks.
Okay. But then they got to get them to you. They
That's
bring them
correct,
here
yes.
and make sure they get to you.
We notify them when we are in need
And
of more.
so that whether it's a small size or a big size, it would
Makes
be
no
the same?
difference.
Okay.
It's per brochure.
All right. And of course, some of them you handle a lot more.
Yes, that's true.
An awful lot more of them. But that's not a big amount, is it? I mean, it's certainly worthwhile.
believe so.
People are coming here looking for something to do.
That's correct. We lowered our prices this year because of some back input that we had from people saying it was too high, so we reduced it substantially. It was $525 a year, and we dropped it to $350, hoping to spur some type of help for these companies.
Okay, dropped in a third.
Yes.
Right now, how do they find out about you?
We do mailings about twice a year, once in the springtime for the summer season, and once again in late summer to try and get the winter attractions and ski areas to try and come on board.
You get most of them, most of the area?
In the summertime, yeah. Winter, it's very hard to get anyone to advertise with us for the winter, as far as ski areas and things of that nature.
Shorter season?
Shorter season, and by the time that we're approaching them, they haven't had any income yet that year.
Okay, yeah, that's right, right. You're a good point, very good point. Something I wouldn't have thought of it, right?
Yeah. Probably the best way for us to do it is when we do our mailings, we do follow-up calls throughout the period between the mailings, which tries to help us keep in contact with them, let them know that we're still here and we're still available to them.
Now, there appears to me to be more than 200 different ones out here.
Oh, yes.
There is?
Oh,
I thought there were 200 booths.
A lot of the ones that you'll see are calendar of events, different events type things that are maybe go out within a week or a month.
All right.
So we won't actually put them in a rack. We'll keep them in the box and distribute them as we seem necessary.
Okay, now, so do you make mailings for these people too?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Oh, no, as far as sending it out?
Yes.
No, we don't do that. We have a program in the summertime called our attractions program, where they pay a certain amount of money to the region, and we develop a brochure specifically for all the attractions. And that goes out in the, we have a commercial that runs on it and everything.
You know, no matter how good a program or a brochure, Frontier Town or West Shazy, the Old Red Barn, or anybody else has, unless they get it to the person who's interested in it, it's worthless.
That's correct.
And that's what one of the things you do here. Plus, you're satisfying a need in a person who's coming in who wants something to do or wants information.
We can literally put their materials in the hands of about 250,000 people a year or so.
Okay. All right. Anything else out here while we are in this area? No.
Well, just along the price schedule line, like I said, a business like that is $350, and it goes down from there, depending on the size. Like hotels and motels of 10 units or less can get in for $200. Restaurants, $200. Services of garages, tow services, things like that would be $200. So it's not just a flat fee. It really depends on the business and what type of potential it has.
And at $50 a night for a motel room, 4 people, 4 rooms pays for it for the year.
That's correct, right?
Now, all right. Well, we'll get into this here. We'll go in your office. We'll go into your office while we do this. Talk about what happens to the poor guy in Rogers Point and Champlain to get down here. He's gone by. He's gone by his place, all right? Yeah. We'll talk that over in his office. We'll go to his office and sit down and talk about that for a minute. Thanks, Sean. We say Sean Bailey. This is, if you want to know, there's the way you spell it. That's what it looks like on the card right there. Supervisor. Adirondack Regional Tourism Council. He's got more information on that card than we've talked about today here. He's getting his money's worth on that card. Put that right in my pocket with my others, Sean. Sean, all right, let's talk about Route 11. Let's talk about Champlain, Rogers Point, mowers, and all points east and west, and they're now 10 miles below, and they want to know how to get to Rogers Point to go to Gaines Marina.
Right.
Or the Anchorage. What happens?
Well, a lot of the problems, like we discussed with Louise out there, was the bridge. Then they're missing the bridge, and they've come this far and they want to get back over to that direction. And we send them back. Usually we send them back, and usually they take that option as driving back, getting off exit 40, either taking Route 9 or going back on the highway back to exit 42. I think the main discussion that we want to get into is the how can we service the people in Northern Tier.
Yes.
Myself, being from the Northern Tier, I have a little biased as far as working here, as far as trying to help out the people as much as possible. And I can understand their concern about actually advertising here because the majority of people are headed south. Unfortunately, we had nothing to do with the actual placement of the information center, and it's something that's gone by and we can't do anything about now, so we have to try and accommodate them as best we can. We have a county map that we have at the counter for people to use, that we have individual sites located where the marinas are and things of that nature to try and point out to people as they come through. And when we first started talking, we talked about where the people are coming from. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but there's a large number of the people that come that are on return trips, the shoppers. And the shoppers that we have, very many of are on return trips. And what we're hoping is that when we give them the information when they come there one time, it'll click in their minds when they come back. The Clinton County guide that we do have, the small brochure which Clinton County produces, does have very minimal information on the Northern Tier, which I think is something that the Northern Tier needs to look at, if not develop on their own. which is one thing that I would suggest to members of the LDC there is think about starting a full-time Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Tier, especially now with the development of the shopping centers and what should be to come after the shopping centers are.
But what do you mean a full-time shopping Chamber of Commerce? There is a Chamber of Commerce.
There is a Chamber of Commerce
in the Northern Tier.
And they do a fine job as far as doing the work that they do. But working in a Chamber of Commerce, the LDC does basically the drawing in of the businesses, which is something that Chamber of Commerce can do to a more specific need, which Clinton County does right now, the Plattsburgh Clinton County Chamber does right now for them. And I think it's something that they really need to look into to try and draw specific businesses into the Northern Tier. The potential is there with the amount of people coming through.
Have you ever talked to the Chamber of Commerce?
I haven't had a chance to, no.
Golly, well, I'll be one of them out there watching. Here's a man you ought to have. I've talked about Hometown Cable, about our program. I see other people go, they're glad to have speakers,
Yes.
and I think it'd be great to have someone like this who can talk about businesses and what people are looking for right here. Here's a man for one of your times. And of course, Celine Paquette, I think, is the new president,
Yes,
and I'll
that's
have to remind her about it and see if a local boy from around this point can come back home there and, well, you're living right there,
Yes, I'm living.
and maybe you can get a lunch out of that too, you know.
What?
It's only a couple dollars. All right. All right. How far would you say it is physically from here to the rest area across the two highways?
Maybe 100 yards.
You don't think it's any more than that?
No, I don't think it's any more than that. They have a path that the gentleman next door used to walk across the highway. And
Have they ever thought about putting a tunnel?
Economically unfeasible, I'd imagine.
Unfeasible,
Yeah.
huh? Too bad, because anybody going north doesn't have the. Even though they aren't all going out of the country, and if they are, they might still get some for next trip.
Definitely, it's like I said, the potential is there for the Northern Tier to have a major business potential.
Okay, I guess we've probably beat that to death. I don't want to do that, but I remember many people up north, including Mark Berry and Larry Paquette and many others, Zerlo and the rest of them, all wanted that up there. It's too late. That wasn't anything to do with you, and I don't want to get you in any trouble for talking about this here, because I don't suppose that you don't work for the state of New York.
No.
But this was here originally. They didn't even take down the bathrooms. Just using the same ones they had before.
That was the main
refurbished,
concern, was
right?
making a causeway to come off the highway.
Yep.
And
Getting them back.
that's
up.
the reason they used anyway.
Okay, because I don't know if you've seen the traffic pattern as far as the information. There's 200,000 more cars a year that go east-west on Route 11 than that go north-south on 87.
Yes, I've seen that.
Counting both directions, you know. And when you figure out that's a very important spot up there. And we hope and we're glad that you can get them the next time. Maybe when they come down, they'll have information from you and so forth.
We try
All
to do our
right.
best.
All right, so this is your office. We're in your office back here. You've got as high a ceiling in here. You've got a fan that Marvin put in here too, probably.
Yes.
And there's enough computers here for the whole county. What are all these computers? Are they different?
Well, this computer is for basic administrative work, doing our statistics as far as where the people are coming from, where they're going to, things of that nature, total visitor counts.
Do you input here? Or
Yes.
Is there an input station outside too?
But that's basically for the 800 number.
Oh, all right. And then you've got another
Typewriter.
That's a typewriter, and you've got your copying machine and then your other machines over there. And your other man, I forgot his name.
Mr. Demarest.
Mr. Demarest has the other desk behind Calvin. All right, and these are your children up here?
Yes, they are. Brittany and Jordan.
All right, Jordan. We have a Jordan in our family. I have a grandson named Jordan, and a lot of maps around here. And
We haven't mentioned Mrs. Bailey's name yet.
Carolyn.
Carolyn, all right. Well, she looks like her mom there. I'll say that for her, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Who's the guy with no beard?
I don't know who that was.
We've talked about your sister, I think, well, on camera, right? Or was that off camera?
No.
She's in California?
Yes, Kim is in California. She has 2 children up there, and he's in the Border Patrol.
What's his name?
Paul Anderson, originally from Plattsburgh.
And so he joined here when was he ever stationed here?
No, he was never stationed here. He's been in San Diego since he joined.
Okay, you said they live out near Oceanside?
They live in Temecula now.
Temecula, all right. That's a new little community. There's a lot of new communities out there.
Well, that's not his only sister. You might as well mention.
Tell me how many sisters you have.
I also have a sister, Alicia. She just got married at the end of October. She's living in Portsmouth.
All right.
She married a gentleman from out there, Tom Sherwin. She's now Alicia Sherwin.
All right.
And my brother Kevin, my oldest brother Kevin's living in just north of Philadelphia.
Right.
He's working on credit cards. He's a credit manager.
Now you say that must be a younger brother then?
No.
Oh,
I
you
am
say your older
baby.
brother. Oh, you are the baby?
Yep.
All right, so there's 4 of you.
4 of us.
All right. My God, Joe, I didn't know all this before. I thought you were always at meetings. Joe Bailey, of course, is he's been one of our politicians from the area, but a great person to always volunteer. He was part of the LDC. I don't know if he still is or not. Probably still is.
Unofficially.
Was on our council. He was a councilman in the town of Champlain, and always there to lend a helping hand. And he was helping today, as a matter of fact. He called me about 11:15. Said, "What time did we go today, Bob?" And so I told him I was coming down to see you, and he didn't know about it. I thought he was calling this morning that you were going to cancel when I first heard it. No kidding, John. All right. Anything else that we should do while we're in here? What's this baseball up here in this container? What is it?
Oh,
Something
Kevin
you signed?
No, Kevin got me that when he was living in Brooklyn. Excuse me. It's an actual Yankee 1983 Yankees signature ball. He was invited to a party at Yankee Stadium with all the members of the team at that time, and that's actual signatures.
All right. The Yankee cup over there.
An old one.
Okay. Anything else you want to cover?
I think we've covered pretty much everything.
All right. Do you see any changes coming up for your operation that you know of?
Well, our contract with the state actually expires on the 30th of June of next year. We're working in an option year right now. We had a 2-year contract from 1990 to 1992, and we're in our option year right now. So we're negotiating with the state. The state is going to put the operation of the center out to bid. Once again, that will go out sometime in January, and we will put our bid in along with whoever else feels they want to try and for operation of the center.
Oh, all right. So it could be somebody
There's
else.
competition for operation, yes.
Oh, all right.
And it all depends on how much the state allocates towards operation of the center again. I mentioned the price of some of the figures before, and this year they dropped us about $30,000. So we had to cut back on our summer hours this year.
Yeah. Now, the council is made up of all these people that belong to the council, all the various business places?
Well, they're not business places. What they are is actual executive directors of chambers of commerce for counties or tourism directors of counties. They're one member from each county.
Okay. And you don't operate any other location except here?
Well, there's the accountant's office is in Lake Placid, as is the advertising office.
And they must have a small information booth that they operate in Lake Placid?
No. So the only one that is up there is operated by the Lake Placid and Essex County Visitor and Convention Bureau.
Okay. We'll go outside. We're going to pick up Marvin Bayshard again. We got to understand there's something he's built outside we want to see, and just see the outside in general. Maybe we can learn something else. Can a person come down here and stop and have a picnic?
Oh, definitely. They can barbecue, picnic.
Well, what if they aren't really a tourist? What if they just want to leave from Champlain? And I'm not inviting the whole town of Champlain here, but what if they're on their way down there? Sometime go down there. It's a nice little place.
Well, we actually have a couple. I've never met them or anything, but in the summertime, I do see them down here 2 or 3 times a week. Canadian couple. They park on the end of the parking lot.
Well, one of them told me he's established a camp off Route 87. I didn't know where it was. It's probably right here.
It could be him.
He said he had a lot of buildings and the bathrooms were handy and all that.
Lots of reading material.
Yes, all right. Television for the kids.
Yeah,
he said,
right.
"Oh yeah," he said, "There's not much water around." He
No,
said,
there's
no place to swim. All right. We're outside in this beautiful fall afternoon, and we see the sign that says free 24-hour direct phone. And I'd like to call my sister in California. What, do I got any chance, or is it restricted some way?
It's restricted a little bit.
All right. What does that mean then?
Well, what it's for is for hotels, motels, services who purchase a space on the board. They buy a plaque, a little description about their property.
Let's get a little closer here. Okay, right in here.
Yep, any one of these.
Yes.
Say the Holiday Inn in Plattsburgh.
Yeah.
Right now they have their light off, which indicates that they have no vacancies.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Does it say that anywhere up there? No.
Yeah. Well, it says that a vacancy, just a light.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Okay, yes.
It's controlled by computer, as everything is these days.
Uh-huh.
The actual properties can call in, turn their light on or off. They can also call in and find out who else has vacancies if they are full, who else on the board has vacancies. Then a person walks up to the board, find a hotel they like, say the Villa Motel in Keysville.
Yes.
They like what it says about the Villa Motel. They pick up the phone, dial the 3-digit code,
004.
and they're accessed directly to the front desk of the Villa Motel.
Unbelievable. That's great. I never saw one of these before anywhere. I mean, I've been on the road course. You don't get these. That's got to cover from here to Glens Falls. The only ones from here to Glens Falls, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's no east and west or anything, and they can immediately be told how to get there and the rates and everything else.
Rates, actually make the reservations over the phone.
Uh-huh. And are they only motels, or are there other things on here, too?
We have a real estate company.
Oh, yeah?
We have a truck stop who has loads for different types of...
That means he's open. It's working hours.
Correct. Beds and breakfast,
Yeah?
campsites, restaurants.
Yeah. Okay, then I see more lights over here in the county.
They correspond
That's the
with
state.
the,
They just that shows where some of them are along the way.
That's right.
All right, and this is paid for by a separate fund?
This is paid for by Trip Phone Incorporated. They're a business out of Minnesota. They
All
paid
right.
for all the materials, and Marvin here built it for them.
Well, you built this, Marvin. Come over here, Marvin. Now they paid you to build this, or how does this? They paid the console for your time. Is that what happened? All right. So you're a carpenter in addition?
Yes.
Did you build your own house?
No, not yet.
No house.
No.
All right.
But-
Did you ever build a motor scooter or any one of those little things when you were
No,
younger?
I didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to
either.
do that, huh?
No.
All right. Let your older brothers do that and use theirs.
There we
All
go.
right. All right. So you started from scratch here,
Yes.
but not like the brick. You didn't have to do with the brick.
Yes,
That
I had to lay all the brick over
you laid all the brick in there too.
that area.
Okay. Like a jigsaw puzzle in the brick
Oh, yeah.
in here. All right.
Once you got going, it was okay.
All right. Now, do you have to do any shoveling out here at all in the winter?
I do like around the doors, but the state takes care of the main
The rest of it, huh?
part.
I
Yes.
see they've got rock salt down here
Yes.
already. Make sure DOT, I'm told, got rock salt down there. Want anybody to fall?
Right.
It has been a little bit. We had some rain and a little bit of snow here the other day. That's why it's here, I guess. All right. What else do you have to do out here, Marv? Do you do anything with the roofs or anything like that? Do you have to maintain the roofs?
Yes, well, any problems with the building? Yes.
They're yours, huh?
They're mine, yeah.
Do you paint? Did you paint or stain? Or hasn't been done?
I painted the inside so far, then
Uh-huh.
most likely this year will be staining the building over.
Do you have to maintain the restroom?
No, I don't.
That's
the state.
the state takes care of that.
Right.
All right. So yours is mostly the tourist. This building, right? More, eh, Sean?
The only thing that we have to be concerned about is the actual structure itself,
All right.
inside and the outside. The DOT is responsible for all outside
Okay.
maintenance.
All right. So those doors are kept locked, right? Did you ever use those in the summer?
We did, but we stopped using it because there isn't a vestibule there, so the heat, every time in the winter when we use it, the heat just pours out of there.
Okay. All right. I'm just about out of questions. Does anybody allow to park in here overnight?
Not technically.
Technically, but some do probably.
do,
We
yeah.
don't want them
Yeah.
to, but I better not say some more about that. But technically, they're not supposed to be in here
That's
overnight.
right,
All right. Is the other side open all winter now too?
yeah. Yes. Mhm.
So these are the only two open all the way down during the winter?
Well, quite a ways down, yes.
All right.
Any other employees?
Pardon?
Yes.
Oh, yes. You have a couple more or one other employee too?
One who wasn't here today, a full-time, year-round employee, Francine Machuski from Plattsburgh. We also have our other part-timer worked for us last year, and hopefully will work for us again next year, Jill Strack from Ross's Point. And a gentleman from Plattsburgh who works for us on occasion, Paul Gibo from Plattsburgh.
All right. Well, does your help turn over a lot?
Not really, no. We've pretty much stuck with the same people. Paul works for us, like I said, on occasion. He was a full-time seasonal clerk for a while, and he just decided that it was a little too much time for him. He's
Right.
retired. And so Jill came on board last year, and we hope that she's with us for a while.
You need an outgoing person in this job, right?
Definitely.
You're not
And,
looking for someone to go slick away from people.
That's
You're
right.
supposed to be very helpful, right?
And the people that we have are great. They really feel that need completely.
Now, do any of the other people, the three you just mentioned, do they talk any other languages?
Jill speaks some French.
Great.
Paul is fluent French. He was born in Canada. And of course, Helga's her German.
Yeah. Most people can speak a little bit of English when they come in.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Plattsburgh Beach, they
yeah.
say, huh?
Some of them will insist on speaking English so they can practice their English, as a
Right.
matter of fact. But as you mentioned before, a lot of them feel at home when they can come.
Oh,
in
yes.
their
Well,
own
you know, as soon as someone, a big smile on their face, you can just see it.
There was a time when we had an Essex County brochure, which is done in German. And just to see the German people come in, they'll be looking at the brochures, and all of a sudden they'll catch their eye, and they have to do a triple look at it,
see it's done in German.
And I'll bet you they pick up that brochure.
That was one of our fastest movers that year.
That's something for anybody out there advertising to think about. That there's a lot more German people coming in,
That's
right?
correct.
And you want to get their business, you got to talk their language
That's
and
right.
use their language a little bit, even if it's just as a second statement of the same
Sure.
thing, right?
Sure.
It kind of makes them feel welcome.
Oh yes,
The
definitely.
Canadian flags down in Plattsburgh at the malls, that makes people feel good when they see their flag
Yes, it
up and other
certainly
things. Unless it's upside down.
I wasn't gonna
but
say
we,
that.
we can't, we couldn't have that. They only do that out when they do
Atlanta.
that. In Atlanta, yeah. They don't know about those things in the South. All right. Well, Sean, listen, we're just about going to call it a day. I guess we've covered just about everything you think we should cover here.
No, I think we've covered everything.
All right. I certainly appreciate your time and being able to see your building again. I'm going to go in and get some brochures.
Definitely.
All right, before we leave. And anything else that you want to say hello to anybody? You want to?
Well, I'd just like to invite everyone from the Northern Tier to come down and get to know what we have here. We get the impression that a lot of people think that we're a trailer in the Grand Union parking lot.
Yes, yeah. Well,
So-
that's right. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot of information in there. When you get, don't wait till you get company in, but when you get company in, bring them in. Let them see, because you always bring them to the same old places all the time that you know about. Come in and take them someplace that you've never been, and you can both enjoy the trip. I often think about people who live in Niagara Falls. Ever been a company comes, they got to go look at the falls again. You know, that's all there is the falls that you want to go see. And this is another thing. And by the way, while you're in here, come out and see Hometown Cable when you're in the Northern Tier. That's a popular place. Thank you very much for watching Hometown Cable every Sunday. Thanks again, and thank you very much also, Mr. Bayshard. And say hello to your folks for me, and then all the other relatives, the other MCBs. And we'll hope to see you here again next Sunday night on What's Going On Here.
Make sure I'm going to be in the picture here. Oh, you're getting in too? Hey, the light is flashing.
I mean, you're on.
It's on the air. It's on when it stops, right?
No, the light's flashing around. Hello everyone, this is Calvin Castine. Welcome once again to Business Beat. And today we're standing in the lobby at the desk of the Hotel Holland. Is it the Hotel Holland or the Holland Hotel? I never know which way to call this place.
Either way.
Answers to both.
Hotel Holland.
Hotel Holland? What do you say, Jeff?
Hotel Holland sounds
And-
good.
Either way, I said 1943.
Since 1943. I'm talking to Dick Letourneau, his son-in-law Jeff Menard, and his son Arsène Letourneau. And if you were with us, probably January, February, we did that show.
Yeah.
What's going on here with Bob Ben? We visited Trophies and Awards, and shortly after we did that show, there was a big change in Trophies and Awards. And maybe Dick, you want to tell us what that change was?
Well, I was in the business with Bill Conley, who was my partner for 20 years, and Bill decided to get out of the trophy business. And the last day of February, he sold to these two fellows here. And now he's retired from the post office and living it up, fully retired, living it up.
Now, where did you find these two guys? You must have had to search a long time before you come up with some buyers.
Well, not really. It was kind of spur of the moment type of thing, probably within 48 hours. And he wanted to get out real bad. And I originally talked to Arsène and Richard. And then Jeff came over and mentioned to him. So these two fellows jumped right in, and here we are.
Did you guys ever consider this before, Arsène? Is this something you thought about?
Not extensively. You know,